Hey, g'day there, how's it going? I just thought I'd sit down and make a quick video about a conversation I just had with a few people. You see, I belong to a number of groups online where we often talk about what's happening and working and not working with our videos and our channels. And there are a couple of guys I was talking to last night who are really enthusiastic and doing great stuff, and they were saying, hey, look, I'm just ready to quit and not do this anymore because it's not working for me. And I really hate to see it when people are feeling that disheartened. So I decided, well, let's have a bit of a chat with them and see why it is they're feeling that way. And what it came down to, and I think there's a lot of people feeling the same, is that they have a channel where they're not feeling like they're achieving anything. They're making a lot of videos, they're doing a lot of work, they're spending a lot of time in communities, but they're just not growing. You know, maybe they're getting subscribers, but they're not getting any views, they're not getting any watch time. And it's quite often the same for a lot of these people, where they come along to YouTube and the first thing they see is all of these subscriber counts around channels. And I reckon that causes a lot of damage, this whole prominence of subscribers, because the impression from what we see is that subscribers drive growth, and that's not the case on YouTube. Your subscriber number doesn't drive growth. Growth drives your subscriber numbers. And please excuse all the sirens and things in the background. I just happened to be filming this at a hospital today. But yeah, what I had a chat with these guys about was why their channels weren't performing the way they would have liked them to be. And what it came down to was that they were so heavily focused on increasing their subscribers that they'd gotten into some really bad habits and were doing things all the wrong way. So I suggested that they put aside the subscriber thing and started looking at views and watch time and some of these other analytics that are actually far more important and the ones that YouTube really should be promoting a bit more. And that led to the discussion of, you know, the question that we all hear quite often, but nobody really explains what it means, is who's your audience? You know, who are you making videos for? Because you're not on YouTube to gather subscribers, you're not on YouTube to get watch time. The main reason we come to YouTube is we want to make videos to pass on some form of information. And when you're doing that, and if you want to be successful, you need to ask yourself, who are these people that we're making the videos for? You're not just making videos to put up and be in the ether. Nobody's going to come and watch that. You know, just creating a slideshow of your holiday photos and things. Sure, if that's what you want to do and use YouTube as a photo archive for a few family members, that's cool. If you want to drive a successful channel and make a business and have an income out of it eventually, though, you need to be doing a little bit more than just photo slideshows and things like that. So I started asking these guys, who is your target audience? Who are you making these videos for? And not terribly surprisingly, they didn't really know. So we had a bit of a chat about that and talked about what their interests were and had a look to see which some of their videos were that had actually managed to gather them some decent views and subscribers and things that they were more passionate about. And I helped these guys through talking to them sort of come to a conclusion about what their target audience was, who the people are that they want to be making videos for in the long term. And hopefully now these guys have headed off and they've gone away with a bit better idea. And one of them's going to be making videos about tourist spots in the Philippines. There's something he's made a few videos about and is quite passionate about, is promoting the culture and myths and stories and some of the historical locations around where he is in the Philippines. Another person I was talking to is in the States, and he's interested in gaming. I asked him, well, what sort of gaming are you into? Because, you know, gaming is a very broad subject. Is it first-person shooters? Is it doing this? He says, well, I play all those sorts of games. I said, what do you enjoy most? What do you do that's different? He said, I really like getting into some of the really old games and starting them up. So we had a bit of a chat about that, and now he's going to go and look at reviewing a whole pile of retro games, old school games. We did some searches on YouTube, and we used TubeBuddy, and we looked at some of these things, and we found that there were massive numbers of searches for retro games, you know, the original Duke Nukem, the Pac-Mans, and some of the old platform gamers that people used to go and spend hours playing in arcades. We know these games are heavily addictive, and heaps of people are always looking for retro and abandonware type games. But there aren't that many results out there because everybody wants to play Fortnite or Assassin's Creed or RDR, or, you know, the new shiny games and things like that. They're flooded. It's not much point in getting into making videos with the brand new games unless you happen to be playing them anyway and you're just doing that for content and streaming. Retro games, though, that's a real niche audience. So he's sort of had this, he was about to delete his channel, and now suddenly he's defined an audience, he's picked a niche, and this was just from a really short conversation. It doesn't take long to figure this out. And he's going to go and make a whole pile of videos and hunt out a whole pile of retro games that he can profile, and, you know, we've probably defined 150 videos worth of content. We've got a year's worth of stuff coming, and I'm really keen to see what he does with that. He's a great video maker. He makes awesome content on YouTube already, and I think having this defined audience and defined niche is going to make a huge difference to him. I'm going to link these guys below. I'll check with them, make sure they're okay, and once they've got a couple of videos up and they're started doing their thing, I'll link them below so that you guys can go and see them and support them as well. Now, how do you define an audience? It's a tricky question, because when somebody says who's your audience, you think, well, okay, who's looking at my videos now? Nobody is, especially for a new channel. And the trick to working that one out and getting that right in your head is to step back and say, well, who's my audience? If I have an imaginary audience of people who like the same things that I do. You need to qualify the rest of that question. So it's not good enough to say just who's your audience, because normally when you're asking somebody that, they don't have an audience yet. The question should be, who will your audience be? What people will want to come and watch your videos later once you've made a few of them? So who do you want your audience to be? What type of people are going to be in your audience? So this is a hypothetical imaginary audience that you need to create. And then when you start making the content for this hypothetical audience, you'll start finding real people actually turn up. There are billions of people, literally billions of people, looking for videos that they want to watch. And if you can sort of carve out a profile for the type of person that you want to make videos for, this imaginary audience, then you will attract real people to start filling in those gaps, and a lot of them. And if you do that with an interesting niche topic for your channel as well, then you're going to get a really good audience, and they're going to become a loyal audience. You need to make sure you communicate with them, make videos and get them to comment on your videos, ask them questions that you want an answer to, use that comment section, build a community, get that community tab going, start doing some live streams and collaborate with your viewers, not just other YouTubers. There are so many tools now to collaborate with people who are just watching videos as well, and it's fantastic. This platform is doing so many awesome things, and you can take advantage of these things and build a community. So the audience is going to become your community, and that community is going to drive more views. They're going to watch more of your videos. You're going to have greater retention and all of these wonderful things. Anyway, I hope this has been a bit useful to you. If it has, there's this thing down here you can click on and subscribe and come and watch more, and there's also this video and this video here you can watch as well, and they're pretty awesome. And I'm going to go back to what I'm supposed to be doing now, and maybe I'll do a video about making impromptu videos in oddball locations when you can't get back to your actual studio to shoot. See you guys later.